Okay, T minus, I think it's 58. It's the January 23rd. All right, so let's talk about nutrition, because that's kind of a topic of preparation for the Tantra retreat, Skydancing LET3, is to kind of get your body in good physical form, and nutrition's part of that. And why are we looking at this from high school? Back in high school, I was 16, 17 years old, you know, cross country, swimming, volleyball, that was at varsity levels. We also did football and tennis and water show. I think there's one other thing that we were doing in there too somewhere. Yeah, but the nutrition in those days, the nutrition that worked back then, I like to talk about. Okay, so I'm going to have a little bit of tea because it's a cold night tonight. So the nutrition that worked, and I don't like to say diet because I'm not really trying to say I need to stop eating foods, but it's a selection of foods that you choose to eat that works for what you're doing. So back in this stage of my life, when I was 16, 17, in high school, playing all kinds of sports, being very active. Like for swimming, we would swim like a mile in the morning before school started, and after school would swim a couple miles. For breakfast, my mom would get up and make me brown and serve sausages and scrambled eggs. For lunch, I'd have like 3 sandwiches, 2 pieces of fruit, some vegetables, a couple candy bars. For dinner, like there was always like you know meatloaf and mashed potatoes. And then when you went out at night with your friends, like I'd eat like a whole pizza by myself, and there was no fat on me at all, man. Everything just got burned up. So that nutritional program worked when I was young, had higher metabolism, was doing a lot. Needless to say, that only works when you have that kind of environment. So during that period, that nutritional program worked very well. It does not support my body anymore. The next thing that happened was, let's get this book. Here you go, Health and Healing by Julian Woodtaker. Let's see, there's a date somewhere. There you go, like 1999. So one of the things that, I followed, you can tell it's a pretty thick book. I followed this for a while, trying to eat healthy, despite having a family and a career and everything else. So one of the things that was recommended in this literature was what they call micro-fasting. So like you'd get up in the morning and you wouldn't eat breakfast, with the idea that all night long you didn't have anything to eat, so your body has used up a lot of the sugars and carbs and starches. So then you wouldn't eat in the morning, you'd go exercise, and then you wouldn't eat till about lunchtime, and then you'd eat again at dinner time and nothing after dinner time. So you're only eating like 6 hours a day, and you have this long stretch of no food intake so that your body can process everything that's in there and get to the point where it's starting to pull on its reserves. So then you like lose body fat. It takes a while, but it creates a healthy thing. So that was that worked when I was teaching in the summer times, because I had the flexibility to get up in the morning, not have to eat and go to work. I could get up and go play tennis or rollerblade or go biking or kayaking, and then have lunch, do some more activity because it was summertime, and then around dinner have some food and not eat afterwards. And that was a reasonable regimen for a while. It kind of at least for the summer, really like easily took off some extra weight, and I felt good in my body. So that was a nutritional program that worked for a specific time. Okay, so this was given to me by my brother, called Mega Nutrition. It sat on the shelf for a while. Let's just see if there's a date in there somewhere. Not one, eh? So it was copyright 1980. Yeah, so this came into my awareness when I was having some high blood pressure and high cholesterol issues, and not wanting to go on to pharmaceutical drugs. I was looking for some alternatives. Let's put this up nice so you can see on it. There we go. So I'll just talk a little bit about this because it's pretty fascinating. I think he was a microbiologist, something. But he kind of described the body system in an interesting way that resonated with me. And he said that in order to live, you have ATP in your body that converts sugar to energy in the cells so that the cells can do their job. So you eat sugar, it goes in your bloodstream, the ATP, I think it's in the cells, I'm not sure where it is, but that's what the ATP converts the sugar to the energy the body needs. If there is no sugar, then it will take starches. It takes more effort, but it'll convert the starch to a sugar, and then it can use the sugar. If there's no sugars, if there's no starches, then it will convert fats in the bloodstream to starches, I guess, and then to sugars. I'm not exactly sure the process and the names of hydrolysis and all those things, but that's the way it goes. Sugar is the easiest, next is starches, and then it uses fats. And if there's no sugars, starches, or fats in the bloodstream, then it takes stored body fat, I think it's called like subcutaneous fat or something like that, and then it converts that into usable, let's say, sugars in the end, so that ATP can use it. So the thought is that you reduce your sugars, you reduce your starches, you reduce your fats that you eat, so there's nothing in your bloodstream. So your body needs to convert all the energy it needs has to come from converting stored body fat, subcutaneous fat. So it like cleans everything out, right? You lose all your body fat. And absolutely, you know, ketones, you have to watch your ketones. Once you get into the ketone range, then you know that your body's converting the fats. Very, very effective. The problem, and they say this, is they need to take a lot of supplemental vitamins and everything, minerals, because getting rid of sugar, starches, and fats also means you're probably not having much protein. So then your body cannibalizes your muscle mass for the proteins it needs to still carry on your body functions. So I lost a shitload of body mass doing this. Like, lost a lot of fat, and then was feeling so good I kept doing it, and I kept losing muscle mass. Took a while to stabilize. So I don't use this nutritional program much anymore, although I use the concepts of trying to limit sugar, starches, and fats, not just one or another, but in a combination for a more effective nutritional program. And then more recently, the last few years, let's see what it is, Ayurvedic, so this is the Rest and Repair Diet by Wallace. Yeah, so like during the pandemic, I was doing a lot of research on Ayurvedic medicine, and this was part of that, of how to heal a lot of gut problems. And their thought is that the microbiome in the gut is what either makes for a healthy body, or it clogs all the energy channels and then causes disease. So you need to focus on having good gut microbiome. And so this, you know, kind of goes against some of the other principles, but it works. So, like for breakfast, you have boiled apples with cinnamon and a little, like maple syrup if you want, a little bit. So that's either, you know, already starting to be contradictory. You're having starches and sugars. For lunch, you have rice with turmeric and a couple other herbs that you mix in there. And for dinner, you have rice, mung beans, and some special type of herbs and things. So they claim that the rice and the mung beans give you the protein that you need. It's soft, warm, easy to digest, so your body doesn't have to spend a lot of time digesting and processing the food. It gets the nutritions out. It gets rid of all the glutens, the dairy, and the sugars from diet, which really tend over time to cause a lot of gut issues. And also there's a little tonic, a ginger pickle tonic you have 20 minutes before you eat, that stimulates the gut to start to process. This was another very fantastic nutritional regimen that I've been using for the last few years. You know, the problem is, you know, rice and mung beans twice a day, every day for 3 weeks, kind of, you know, it does get old when your wife's sitting across from you having pizza and, you know, baked potatoes and meatloaf. But it is very effective to definitely reduce cholesterol, reduce weight, reduce blood pressure. I find it also reduces a lot of my head pressure issues when I'm on this regimen. And I find that I usually start into it for a week and then do like 2 solid good weeks, and then spend a week coming off of it back to regular food. So it's like a 4-week type of thing. And I will add that in October at the week-long intensive workshop, you know, the food they cooked was incredible. It was like, you know, organic and healthy. There's vegan options and dairy-free options and gluten-free options and all that. But, you know, pile of scrambled eggs and bacon, you know, for breakfast, and a English muffin. And, you know, I lost weight, felt great. So I think a lot has to do with the honoring and the preparing of the food, as opposed to just saying that this food source, this type of food is no good for it. Yeah, I don't know. But that's what came in to talk about.